Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to solve this breach in the cloud lab from ownlabs.io. I have thoroughly enjoyed working on this lab. You will learn a lot of stuff. You will learn how to effectively utilize CloudTrail logs and how to analyze them to identify any breaches in your cloud environment. So here we have an entry point. We have got AWS credentials, that is access key ID and secret access key. Here we have to submit our flag. Let's see the scenario that we have been alerted to a potential security incident, and the huge logistics security team have provided you with AWS keys of an account that saw unusual activities as well as the AWS CloudTrail logs around the time of the activity. So we have got these credentials, obviously, and we need your expertise to confirm the breach by analyzing our CloudTrail logs and identifying the compromised AWS service and any data that was exfiltrated. And as usual, the lab prerequisites are same. The basic Linux command line knowledge is required. And here we have a learning outcomes, difficulty is beginner, and focus is on red team. And here we have a real world context that says analyzing AWS CloudTrail logs is a standard practice for detecting suspicious activity within an AWS account. Obviously, it's a standard practice to find out any malicious activities in your AWS account, while S3 buckets are frequently targeted by attackers due to the valuable data they can contain. We know that a lot of breaches happen because of S3 misconfigurations, right? And here you guys can see we have to download this CloudTrail log file from this Discord server. The file name is this incident3252.zip file. Okay, so I have already downloaded this file. Let me just quickly show you. So this is a zip file that I have downloaded. You guys can use this command, that is unzip incident response -d is for the directory, and I have created this directory that is log file. So I have already unzipped this file. Let me just show you the file directly. Let's go to this log file directory, and we have the 7 CloudTrail log files. So basically, CloudTrail is a service that records and monitor activities and events within your AWS cloud environment. And it captures a detailed history of actions taken by users, roles, or any AWS services. And CloudTrail logs include information such as who performed an action and what action was taken by user or role or service. And it also enables users to better understand and manage their AWS infrastructure. And if this file naming structure is a bit confusing, let me just quickly break it down for you using this example. Okay, here we go. So we have this log file name. So first we have this green part, okay, and this green part is associated with an account ID. Second component is easy. It is a service name. In this case, it is CloudTrail. US East 1 is a region. We all know it is a Northern Virginia region. Then we have this timestamp. It denotes the timestamp in the UTC when the CloudTrail log file was created. UTC, like Universal Time, the Coordinated Universal Time. And in this example, it is created on August 26, 2023. Okay. Then we have this unique identifier for the log file, and it is likely generated to ensure the uniqueness and integrity of the files. And this string could be a combination of random characters. And at last, we have extension, like file extension, that is JSON. Okay. And let me just quickly break down the timestamp as well. So here we have our timestamp. First, it's simple, that is year 2023. Then we have month, in this case it is August. 26 is a day. And then we have this T, that is a separator that indicates the start of the time component. Okay, so here we have this time component. 20 means it's an hour. Basically, this time is in the 24-hour format. You can convert it to 8:35 minutes. Okay, 8:35 p.m. will be the time this file was created. And this character Z, that is Zulu time, which is same as GMT or UTC, and it is often referred to as the military time zone because the military time zone systems ensure clear communication in a concise manner, right, to avoid the confusion when coordinating across different time zones. And these time zones are typically referred by the letter names. Like we have a lot of different names, that is alpha time, bravo time, charlie time, delta time, echo time. This is a different concept, by the way. I don't want to get into the details, but these time zones are used to standardize communication. So I hope you understand the file naming structure and the timestamp. It's time to start our investigation. So let's open our first file in a text editor. I'm using Nano, and let me hit enter. And as you guys can see, it is already prettified because I have already installed the JSON processor and run that command. You guys can install this particular JSON processor, apt install JQ. I've already installed this and I have already run this command. And let's open this file in our notepad. Okay, I have this own lab folder. Let's go to lab number 6, that is Breach in the Cloud. And let me open this folder. And let's open our first file. Okay, so this is our file, and it's a very big log file. So what we will do, we have to use some queries to get the relevant information, right? And we can start with listing username because it is a standard practice in a large log files, and it is a common practice, by the way. So let's start listing the user. Let's go to terminal and let's first clear the screen, and let me paste the command here. So we are using this JQ, that is our JSON processor, and it is a command line tool that will help us to work with JSON files. And here we are specifying that we are interested in the username associated with the user identities in this log file. Okay, I have provided our file number 1. So let me just hit enter, and we have got this temp user. Okay, and now we have got the username. Let's try to get the relevant log entries of this user by using the command. Let me just show you. Let's clear the screen and let's paste the command here. So we are giving this command like select user identity username that is equal to temp user. So we want all the event related to or associated with the temp user. Okay, so let's hit enter, and you guys can see this is an IAM user. It is an IAM entity, and this is an ARN of this temp user, account ID, access key ID, and the username is temp user. And here it is an event time, and this event was generated on 26th of August 2023 at 8:29 p.m. UTC. Okay, and the event name is get caller identity. Here we have the region, that is US East 1, Northern Virginia, and the source IP address. And this is a user agent used by this temp user. Okay, so this is clear that this temp user made an API call to retrieve information about the caller's identity, right? This one. Now let's analyze our next file. Let me write ls. This time I'm gonna use this file. Okay, let me just remove this file name T2040Z. Okay, this one. And here we are giving the same command. Select user identity, username is equal to temp user, but we have changed the file name. So let's hit enter. Okay, this is our temp user, and he actually lists the objects of the bucket on 26th August at 8:35 p.m. UTC. Same source IP we have seen in our file number 1. US East 1 is a region, and here we can see this error message, that is access denied, and the bucket name is emergency data recovery. So on the basis of this event, it is clear that this temp user attempted to list the objects in the S3 bucket, that is emergency data recovery bucket, and received this access denied error, and the source IP is same. Okay, so let's just geolocate this IP address. Let me clear the screen, and I'm going to use the curl command, curl ipinfo.io / provide your IP address. Okay, so if you are an OSINT analyst, I damn sure you know this service, It is a free IP geolocation API service and it provides information about IP addresses. So let's hit enter. Okay, this is an IP address. City is Ankara. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the city name right or wrong. I didn't check it on Google. And the country is Turkey. And this is the organization, that is GSL Network Private Limited. Time zone is Europe, Istanbul. So after getting this information, like IP information, we can say that someone is from Turkey. They try to list the object in the S3 bucket, that is emergency data recovery, and got the access denied error. Okay, so moving on, it's time to analyze our file number 3 and 4. So let me just open that file. First, let me close our first file and let's open our third file. Okay, so we have this IAM user, that is temp user, and this event is also happened on 26th of August at 8:46 p.m. UTC time. He tried to list the pipelines, the same source IP we are seeing, and got the access denied error. Okay, let's see some other logs. And here we are seeing the temp user. Okay, and the event name is list entity recognizer, same IP address, and got the access denied error. So we have these error messages and error codes, right? So let me just write this command to get all the error messages. Let's first clear the screen and let's write gq records dot error message. Okay, and I've provided our third file here. Let's hit enter and you will see these error messages. So this is the one way that you can list this error messages. You guys can use the grep command as well. Let me just quickly show you. Grep error messages and then provide the file name. Okay, let's hit enter. So as you guys can see, this temp user actually performed a lot of action. First is list account aliases. He also list the instance profiles, list signing certificates, list users, data pipelines. Okay, you can use the WC command to count the error messages. So let me hit enter and we have got 13 error messages in this file. So let's list the file first. Now let's copy our fourth file and I'm going to use the same command, that is grep error message, and will provide the fourth file. Okay, let's hit enter and you will see a lot of error messages in this file as well. And this temp user performed a lot of actions on different services like shield service, describe protection, SSM, that is system manager, describe patch groups, list command invocations, and he got the error message, right? Access denied error message. Now let's use WC command to count the error messages and we have got 450 error messages or 450 access denied errors in simple words. So we can say that this temp user is really a pain in the neck, right? Okay, moving on, let's examine our fifth file, this one. Okay, so we are going to use this command, the same command, and we want all the event name that are associated with this temp user in our fifth file. Okay, let's hit enter. Okay, so we have got this event. This is the temp user, and on 26th of August at 8:54 p.m. UTC, this user actually assume a role, same IP address, and here we can see the role ARN and the session name. So let me first copy this ARN, that is role ARN, in the notepad. Okay, and here you can see the credentials, the access ID and the session token he has actually used, and the expiration date as well, sorry, expiration time and date as well. So now we can say that on 26th of August at 8:54 p.m., this temp user assumed this admin role, this role, with the specified session name, that is my session. Okay. We all know that when we assume the role, we receive temporary credentials like access key ID, secret access key, and session token and expiration date, right? So he has performed the same action at this time. Now let's see our file number 6, this one. So let me open it in a notepad, this file. And here you can see this event, that is get caller identity. And at this time, the type is changed, the user identity type is changed to assumed role, because he has actually assumed the role at what time? I forget. So he actually assumed the role at 8:54 p.m. and he ran this command 8:59 and 8:54. Okay, so it is clear that this temp user is checking the new setup, the same source IP. Okay, you will also get the same information in the command line as well. If you specify the event name, so we have this event name, right? That is get caller identity. And if you want to specifically check for get caller identity event name, you guys can use the following command. Let me clear the screen, and you will use this command, like select event name equal to get caller identity. Okay, and you will receive that particular log entry. Event name get caller identity, and this event time is same, 26th of August 8:59 p.m. UTC. Okay, cool. Now it's time to analyze our last file. So let me just close these files and let's open our last file, this one. Open it and you will see. So user identity is assumed role and the username is admin role, and we have got this event name, that is list object, and this event was logged at 9:17 p.m. UTC. Yeah, it is 21:17, so that means 9:17 p.m. and the region is Northern Virginia, same source IP. If you scroll down, you will see another log entry like event name, and here you can see the username is admin and event name is get object, the same source IP, the same region, right? So both the events indicating that these activities performed under this assumed role, that is admin role, involving interacting with our specific S3 bucket, that is emergency data recovery bucket. Okay, and this temp user actually downloaded this emergency text file at this time, like 9:17 p.m. UTC. So timing is important in this case, like if you are handling a real world scenario, if you are really working in the incident response team, so timing is very important, so you need to note down the time as well. So now we know this emergency.txt file is stolen. Let's try to retrace the attacker steps, and our objective is to validate the exploitation path and secure access to compromised data. And to achieve this, we will first configure the necessary credentials, and we have got our temp credentials here. If you scroll up, you will see this is a AWS credentials for our temp user. Let's clear the screen and let's write AWS configure command. Let me paste the access key ID, hit enter, copy the secret access key, and the default region will be US East 1, output format none. Now let's write AWS STS get caller identity command, and we know this command is similar to who am I command in Linux. We are checking who we are. Okay, let's hit enter. Yes, we are this temp user. Great. So let's see if we have any inline user policies attached to this IAM user, and we'll use this command AWS IAM list user policies, and the username will be our temp user. let's hit enter. So this test temp user policy is attached to this temp user. Let me just copy the name. Now let's get the detail of the policy. Get user policy, username is temp user and the policy name is test temp user. Let me clear the screen and now let's hit enter. As you guys can see, this reveals that the user is allowed, like this temp user is allowed to assume the role that is admin role. Okay, now that we know that we have this admin role, let's assume the role. Okay, and we know how to assume a role. So let me clear the screen first and let's write AWS STS assume the role, and here we are providing the role ARN that we have already copied, admin role, and the role session name will be my session. Okay, you guys can change the session name as per your choice, like CLI session. Okay, and now let's hit enter, and we have got this temporary credentials like access key ID and secret access key ID and the session token. So let's assume the role quickly. We'll use the export command, export AWS access key ID, and let's copy our new access key ID and paste it here. Hit enter. Now let's export AWS secret access key, and let's copy our secret access key ID, paste it here, hit enter. Now we have to export AWS session token equal to, and let's copy our session token from here to here. Let me copy it and let me paste it here. Now let's hit enter, and we'll use this command, that is AWS STS get caller identity command, to check whether we have assumed this role or not. Let me clear the screen and let's hit enter. And yes, we have successfully assumed this role, that is admin role. Now we have assumed the role, so we can write this command, that is AWS S3 ls will list the bucket. Okay, so we don't have the full access to the S3 service, so let me write AWS S3 ls and we'll provide our S3 bucket URL. Let's copy the bucket name first, emergency data recovery. Let's paste it here. Now let's hit enter. Okay, we have got this emergency.txt data and this message.txt. So let's copy these two files with the help of cp command. Let me just copy it, and then we have to provide this emergency.txt file and let's hit enter. Okay, I want this in my current directory, so I have to use dot. Let me hit enter. Okay, let me write ls and you will see this emergency text data is there. And now we have to copy our message file as well, message.txt, in the current folder. Okay, it is message or messages. Okay, it is message.txt. Let me clear the screen and now let's hit enter. It is downloaded. Okay, both the files are here. So let me first get message.txt. So congratulations on completing the lab and welcome to the owned labs. Our goal is to offer a dynamic community where you can progress regardless of where you currently stand in your cybersecurity journey. We are thrilled to have you with us. That's cool. Let's get our emergency text file. Wow. We have got our flag, and this is a huge logistics emergency recovery plan. The purpose of this document is to provide a reference to essential credentials and steps to be taken during a disaster recovery scenario. Wow. It was updated on 26th of August. System name, ERP system, username, password. So we can definitely call it as a sensitive data, right? Great. You guys can explore it. Let me just quickly copy our flag and let's paste our flag here and let's submit it. And congrats, you have successfully completed the challenge. That's cool. So we have analyzed our CloudTrail logs and we have identified the compromised AWS service. In this case, the compromised AWS service is S3, and any data that was exfiltrated or stolen, that is our emergency text file, right? This one. Our disaster recovery plan is stolen, guys. That's cool. So I really enjoyed solving this lab and I genuinely hope you did it too. And just learn how to use the JSON commands and analyze the CloudTrail logs effectively as an incident responder. And you will gain valuable insights through this hands-on experience. And make sure that you guys are taking notes because notes are amazing. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys. If you like it, just please share it with your friends and your colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will see you in my next video. Till then, take care and keep learning. Bye bye.